as a top weight with 57 kilos. She's going to have to really be up to the mark, but she's earned the impost, Ben, as the only Group 1 winner in the past 12 months in this field by virtue of her Goodwood performance.
It was a nice return in the Lightning from Benedetta. She'll be fitter for that run. She's definitely better suited up to 1200. The inside barrier is some concern. Just, I think wider draws are an advantage today, and she meets Stretton Angel 1.5 kilos worse off for being beaten last time out. But if she gets the right run, she's capable even with the weight.
She looks absolutely outstanding, arguably probably the best that I've seen her, to be fair. I think her coat is gorgeous. She's moving really well. She's had the benefit of that run first up, and I think she strips very fit for today. 4
mares have won in the 21st century. Black Caviar did it with the top weight in 2011. No sign of the 2 Mahaba. The 3 is Arkansas Kid. 4th in a Coolmore, won a Bobby Lewis here as well. Lindsay Park have won this 7 times. Craig Newitt trying to become the first jockey to win 4 Newmarkets.
Yeah, he is, and this horse is resuming off 2 recent jump outs and went really nicely, as you'd expect for a sprinter of his class in the latest of them. Looks one of 2 or 3 main speed influences in the race. He looks drawn as well, the perfect spot. So he might be the horse wide on the track, on speed in a race that lacks pace on paper, that getting the right run. Did beat Skybird in a narrow second to Right to Party this track and distance last prepper, and that form's looking even better in hindsight. So no surprise to see him right in the finish here.
He's just a horse that continues to get better and better, and I've seen him develop from a little boy into a man right before my eyes over the last 6 to 12 months in particular. He's just completely furnished now. He's always had a good frame, but the amount that he's muscled up and that his physique's overall strengthened, it's quite remarkable. He strips really nice and fit for this. The team usually have him humming first up.
7th and 9th in the last 2 Newmarkets. For Buenos Noches has his first start for Kieran Maher. Red Kirk Warrior is the only other runner in the last century to win a Newmarket first off 3+ months. He was 17 weeks between runs. Buenos Noches is 25.
He's first up here for the new stable. I think that's the key point. Change of environment. You could see some improvement here. And that's not disrespecting Matthew Smith, who did a great job with the horse. It's just some horses can thrive under different a set of eyes and a different training philosophy, and that might be the case here with Buenos Noches. He goes well on the straight track. He's trialled up quite nicely. I've had to throw at the stumps at this horse. I think he can run better than what the market's suggesting.
Sometimes entires, they can get a little bit too cunning and a few tricks up their sleeve, so a change of environment might be what needs just to get this horse back to the wonderful form that he was able to get with Matthew Smith. He's a $2 million earner. The previous stable's done a wonderful job with him, but he's arrived here in good order for the new team today. He's lovely and relaxed, got the stallion chain on with him being an entire, keeping his manners in check, but he's extremely relaxed. His condition's very good. He's moving well.
We're going to work back to work forward. 2 Mahabas about to go straight out with Billy Egan in his first Lightning ride. 2nd in the Winter Bottom, sets up well for this.
Yeah, he seemed to have every chance. It was out sprinted first up in a slowly run race. He's had that quiet trial between runs. He should be fitter for it. He won this track and distance 2nd up last prep, drawing inside, beating Ray Magnerio, and then maybe should have won a Winter Bottom. So there's claims of his best form last prep, but I would have liked to have seen more first up.
Yeah, he's a quirky horse. No surprise to see him go out early with the pony. He was actually excellent. He was asleep out the back. I went and had a good look at him. His condition's fantastic. I think that jump out between runs has really kept him primed for today.
Belle de Jour, 22 years ago, is the last to come via the Expressway as their first up run into winning a Newmarket. That's the assignment ahead of a high-octane mare in the 5 Joliestar.
Yeah, she was wide, but she was still a bit disappointing first up, but maybe we can forgive that. Perhaps she was a bit keen, maybe a bit unbalanced. She's jumped out nicely between runs. If she could run up to her Show County run last preparation or her Everest run, then I think she's potentially the horse with the biggest finish in this race, maybe the best sprinter in this race. And Amy, this coat when she walked in, I'm not sure I've seen a better one today.
Yeah, she looks outstanding. She's glistening. It's such a beautiful, rich and glossy colour. That's probably how I'd describe it. She's lovely and relaxed. She conserves her energy really nicely. You usually expect a sprinter to be up on their toes more, but she saves it all for her races.
6 is Ray Magnerio. Robbie Griffiths won this race 9 years ago with the quarterback who'd run 6th in the Oakley Plate at his prior start. Ray was 3rd in that event.
Produced a big turn of foot off a slow speed to win first up. He was typically honest in the Oakley Plate. He's been targeted at this race and looks ready to peak 3rd up.
He's at peak fitness for sure. He's a little ball of muscle. He's on his toes. He's feeling very well. You know he'll give a sight for a good way.
Mark Zara chasing the full set of the Flemington Group 1s up the straight. He's won a Coolmore, a Champion Sprint and a Lightning. He's got a great chance here with the 3-year-old colt, 7 Growing Empire.
I think it's a forgivable run first up. He started 380 there, faced the strong wind early. He weakened late. He was all over the shop, but He should be fitter. He's been targeted at this race. And if he brings his best form, I think he's among the better chances.
Just want him to keep his cool today. He'd ended up getting a little bit worked up. He's a bit warm in places right now, but for what he's doing, if he stays like this, I have no concerns.
8, Ostraka, the Silver Eagle winner in the spring, was 9th in the Oakley Plate.
Did enough in the Oakley Plate, I thought, first up, and I'd imagine him to settle much closer to the speed, up to 1200 in a race where there's not as much speed on paper. And if he can do that, I think he's drawn the right part of the track. He can settle closer and improve sharply.
He's a lovely, handsome horse, got a great winning record, and he presents here in beautiful, healthy order.
9, Stretton Angel, placed in the Black Caviar Lightning. Lockie Neindorf and Philip Stokes combined to win the Sangster last year with Climbing Star.
He was a great return in the Lightning. Did face the wind earlier than, say, the winner or Benedetta, and that wasn't an easy day to do that. She'll be fitter for that. She's suited rising in distance, has a great second-up record. I think she's one of the better winning chances in the race.
Yeah, she looks absolutely brilliant today too. She's just having a nice little bounce here and there. Her coat's beautiful. This has been a target of theirs for a very long time, and she looks primed.
11, Sharippa, the 2023 Standish winner, 7th last year, beaten 3.5 lengths. Luke Curry won this race with Zutori 4 years ago.
I liked him first up off a hot trial and thought he was fair. He should be fitter for that, and arguably his career peak came at this track and distance. He needs another win, though.
He looks fantastic. His coat's beautiful. It's easy to say with grey horses, but it's actually a really good, rich, strong colour. It's moving well. He does just need to bounce back to that best form that we've seen from him previously.
12, Headwall, 4th in the Oakley Plate. Harry Coffey, 4th last year in this race on Benedetta.
It was a terrific run first up in the Oakley Plate. He looked unlucky not to finish closer. He'll be fitter. He has run well down the straight previously. I guess the query would be, was he flattered by being held up, being in the right lanes, and is 1200 as good for him? But look, if that's the right reference, he was the best run in it of the horses coming through it. So there's a definite case to be made.
He's a powerful mover, this horse. Even at a walk, you can see that he looks explosive, the way that he carries himself. Conditions great, coat's lovely. You can see he's feeling pretty fresh and well there.
Ben Brisbane has his first Group 1 starter with the 13, Superazi.
This horse has trialled terrifically. I think he's capable of running a big race fresh. 1,200 metres is on the sharp side, but with 52 kilos, I wouldn't be surprised to see him charging late.
He looks really well. He's a horse that carries a bit of weight around his middle, but he's a lovely, relaxed horse. I saw him out the back. You wouldn't get a kinder horse to saddle up.
Okay, Waterhouse won this race 30 years ago with her first starter at a Newmarket in All Our Mob. She's had 8 since. She saddles up the 3-year-old. 14, Espionage.
I thought he ran well first up off a long break in the Oakley Plate. He'll be fitter for that run. There'd be no surprise here to see him ridden aggressively in a race that lacks speed with the blinkers going on and 50 kilos on his back. I think he can improve sharply, and a victory wouldn't surprise.
Definitely not looking at him. He looks absolutely outstanding. His coat is beautiful. He's got no weight on his back. Don't worry about the little bit of sweat between his back legs. It's a hot day. He's not stirred up at all at this point in time.
Chris Waller won a Newmarket with Brazen Bow, a 3-year-old colt 10 years ago. He looks to do the same with the 15 Gatsbys.
His only previous run here at Flemington was a good run in the Coolmore Stud Stakes. He was held up at a key stage there when he finished 5th, beaten 3.5 lengths behind Switzerland. His key advantage today is 2 things. Drawn wide. He's got barrier 15, and he's also got 50 kilos on his back. He was scratched from an easier race last week, the English Sprint, to be saved for this contest. I think he's a big hope at a nice price.
He's a pony, this horse. I saw him out the back and gave him a pat. He's tiny. He's very unassuming, and as being an entire, he's an absolute gentleman. You would never know that he was still a colt. He's conserving his energy beautifully. He's been prepared really well.
Craig Williams has headed down to the start with the 10. It's Our Time. He has his 19th ride at a Newmarket, 12th of 12 last year after missing the start 7 lengths. He won the Group 3 Standish here in January.
Yeah, he's a track and distance specialist, and look, he might get a nice run just in.
And 90 cents. As they start to load, final thoughts here, Ben Asghari?
It's going to be really interesting speed-wise. I thought Espionage, Ostraka might be much closer than what they were in the Oakley Plate. Arkansas Kid's going to be up on the speed in the right part of the track. How do some of these horses draw the inside gates like Benedetta, Growing Empire, Ray Magnerio, even Joliestar? How do they get across to that right part of the track? It's going to be really interesting.
As we saw in the previous race, favourites very popular with the World Pool. It seems that again here with Joliestar, a lot shorter on the tote at this stage than the fixed price. They're moving in. Here's Matt Hill for the Newmarket.
Now, I've got a feeling something's going on here in barrier number 9. Number 4, Buenos Noches, who was a little bit flighty going into the gates, is now reared up in the stalls, and obviously the vet's going to have a look at this one. Buenos Noches, news coming through. Okay, thank you, Simon Petron Scales. Just letting us know that Buenos Noches is going to have to be vetted here. Now, take note, Buenos Noches was one of the first into the stalls and has been fractious. So they've backed Buenos Noches out, and the vet's having a look at this runner as we speak. Number 4, Buenos Noches, who's currently $19 on the tote, $17 with bookmakers. Buenos Noches now being vetted. So it's a little bit fizzy going into the gates, and is obviously in a little bit of a mood, quite fresh. First up today. So it looks as though the attender's now trotting this horse around the front of the stalls, or is he trotting the horse away? Let's have a look. No, he's just making it do a circle out to the front of the stall so the vet can have a good look at Buenos Noches. And just trying to listen in the meantime, they're moving forward. In the meantime, Growing Empire, Sharippa in with Espionage, and also Super Razi. Stretton Angel is about to come along. Also Ostraka and Arkansas Kid and Gatsby's behind them. Pass fit to start, Buenos Noches. Pass fit to start. So Ostraka is in, Jamie Mott. Joliestar firming all the while, $4.60 into $3.50 on VOP, and on the World Pool Tote, $3.10. Joliestar about to join them, Damian Lane. Arkansas Kid has gone up for Craig Newitt, who's won the race 3 times. So Gatsby's, who stayed away from the other runners towards the outside of the chute, is going to be one of the last to join them. As Buenos Noches is being placed into the stalls again, and again he's just wanting to back away a little. So Buenos Noches now goes up better this time, and Gatsby's is the final one. Gatsby's goes in, and the field locked away for the Newmarket Handicap. Now there's movement towards the outside. Arkansas Kid is agitated. They stand better now. Set. Signal racing. Joliestar from the middle got a clean get-go. Beginning well was Growing Empire, Mahaba and Ostraka, and Sharippa isn't far away from Ray Magnerio, Espionage, Arkansas Kid. In the middle of the field, Joliestar, followed by Gatsby, Stretton Angel, Buenos Noches, It's Our Time. Towards the back of the field, Super Razi, and they were followed by Headwall and also Benedetta. So across the track at the 800 metres, Ray Magnerio up there with Sharippa, and not too far away, Ostraka and Espionage. Further back in the field then is Growing Empire, It's Our Time. Joliestar is right in the middle of the pack, about 4 or 5 off the front from Arkansas Kid. Then came Gatsby's, and back in the field, Mahaba, Headwall, Stretton Angel with about 4 behind her. Benedetta, Buenos Noches and Super Razi. So they reached the 350 at Sharippa, Ray Magnerio, followed by Ostraka. They were followed by Arkansas Kid on the outside. Joliestar's trying to weave through the pack. Further back, Sharippa, who got a brush on the way through as Joliestar stopped up. 200 to go. Joliestar went to the front. Headwall late. Joliestar a length and a half. Pulling clear. A length and 3/4. Joliestar won the Newmarket. Headwall second. Stretton Angel third from Growing Empire, Super Razi. Then came Espionage, Arkansas Kid, It's Our Time, Ostraka, and then Gatsby's and Ray Magnerio, Sharippa, Mahaba, and well back Buenos Noches, one of the last.
Explosive, dominant. Joliestar loving the straight at her first look. Damian Lane loving his first Newmarket. 5, 12, 9 and 7 your numbers. Joliestar, the switch hit. The first since Belle de Jour in 2003 to run in an expressway in Sydney first up and come down and take the Newmarket in fine style. Headwall came through an excellent run in an Oakley plate and has run even better up the straight for Matthew Smith. Stretton Angel continues to lodge Group 1 placings. Her day will come at some stage, and Growing Empire has done fantastically well for Youlong as the best of the 3-3.